Yo, it's Taylor Bennett at Hot New Hip Hop, breaking down title track Broad Shoulders featuring Chance the Rapper. So yeah, you know what I'm saying, this is the third verse of Broad Shoulders. What's crazy, when I wrote this song, my brother hadn't had his daughter yet. So it's pretty crazy that it was as in sync as it actually was to my current situation. But when I actually wrote it, I wrote it with the perspective of parents, because the first two verses is the verse from me, and then you got the verse from my brother, and then what other perspective are you missing but the mother and the father? So I decided to write a perspective of a daughter and a son to make it more relatable to my audience. After I made this song, I found out that my brother was about to be a dad, and I found out that he was gonna have a daughter, and that third verse that I decided to write all of a sudden completely fell into place, because now all of a sudden it's my father looking at us two, which are the first two verses, and then my brother looking at me and his daughter from a perspective of a father. And that shit's crazy. But that's why, you know, it's such a personal song. You know, me and Chance could have made 1,000 killer tracks, you know what I'm saying? And that's the one that we picked, and I you know, I still support this, and I think I will when I'm 68 or 79 on my deathbed. I think I'll still feel like I'm glad I put this out. This was the one. This was the first track that we needed to make together. So basically it starts off and it's...
Watch her get older and older until she don't want to be known as your daughter.
That's just like, you know what I'm saying, like just a really real line, because everybody goes through the point where their daughter gets to that age where, you know what I'm saying, she's not daddy's little girl anymore, you know what I'm saying? Or you get to the point where she doesn't want to drive around in the car with you all the time and she wants to go out with her friends. And you know what I'm saying, at that point, it sometimes can definitely feel like they want to be as far as they possibly can be away from you.
Watch him get older and older until he forgets everything that you taught him.
And that's, you know what I'm saying, just a perspective of a son, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna be, men are going to be rebels, and they're gonna want to rebel against the system, and they're gonna have to figure life out for themselves. And I've always seen that as something that's extremely common in the world. So at that point, it's kind of like, you know, you can teach your son good manners, you can teach your son to do whatever you want him to do, but at the end of the day, he's gonna be himself and he's gonna make his own decisions.
Watch her get Instagram, Mr. Friendships, and fans call you when she is rock bottom.
That's kind of like, you know, that's just like the growing moment of, you know what I'm saying, social media and the age that we're in this generation. You know what I'm saying? You get an Instagram, you got instant friends, you got hips and fans. So, you know what I'm saying, at that point, you're growing, you know, you're maturing, you're going through you know what I'm saying, puberty at that point, and you're just getting older, and it's a different world that you're stepping into.
Watch him get in the jam, he claims he's innocent, but you know your son's a liar.
In general, just in the world, you know what I'm saying, honesty is something that's not very commonly found. And you know what I'm saying, especially, you know, like when I was a kid, I used to lie to my parents all the time, you know what I'm saying, like just about stupid stuff, and I used to always get caught. And I didn't really stop until one day it just occurred to me. It's like, yo, you lie to your parents, but you're not gonna lie to your best friend. Like, you're not gonna front your move to your homie, but you'll lie to your dad about where you just were. And it's like you kind of have to sit back and you have to look at it from a different perspective of just being a 19-year-old like I am, and say, yo, these people really care about me. Like, they've done all this for me. Like, they technically brought me into this world. The least I could do is respect their wishes.
Watch her develop while you trying to catch up. It's 21 years, but arriving, no.
And that's basically like, you know what I'm saying, just from another parent's perspective, it's like, you know, there's a lot of parents that are out here that, you know, don't see their kids or aren't in their kids' lives or don't, you know what I'm saying, have anything to do with it. And it's like you're trying to catch her. You get to this point where it's either like you're trying to force to make time because you weren't there, you know what I'm saying, and you think that you got her at 21 years and arriving, because that's usually when we just as people start to really decide, this is what we're gonna do, this is the person that I wanna be, these are the morals that I stand for and the beliefs that I have. And that's like when you get there and you think, right when you think that you got there on that 21 cup, it's gone. It's like out the window, you know what I'm saying? You think that you're arriving, you think that you're pulling up, your train's pulling into the station right at time, but in actuality, you're so late. I think that's a really powerful line, because being African American and, you know, coming from the south side of Chicago, I'm like I've always been like one of my only friends with a real father, with somebody that's there at your school every day trying to get this work, calling people up. Like, I've been, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's something for this generation and generations from before and to come that I want to imprint is, you know what I'm saying, don't think that you have more time than you do, because you're just any other human and eventually it'll be too late.
22, look, he grew, he's not the man you knew, now he's a man that's just like you.
I actually wrote that perspective from my brother, you know what I'm saying, because I saw my brother go through it. I saw his change. I saw him become a man. I saw him change his beliefs and become a better person, not just for himself, but the people around him, and even more than the people around him, but the people he can reach with his music, so AKA the world. And, you know, it's just kind of crazy because I watched my brother go through the phases of, yo, I'm going to the studio every day, but I'm still seeing these same people because I haven't made moves yet because it's not time for me to blow. You know what I'm saying? I've seen my pops pissed, like, yo, what are you doing right now? How are you, you know what I'm saying? What kind of man are you gonna be? And then realizing, you know what I'm saying, at 22, look, he grew. He's not the man you knew, but now he's a man that's just like you. I see my father and my brother more than, you know what I'm saying, I even see him in me. You know what I'm saying? I still got more time to grow. But it's just crazy how far away they used to be from each other and how similar they are now. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely, it's moving.
Look at the fam you grew, God had a plan for you when you thought Jesus forgot you. Look at the fam you grew, God had a plan for you when you thought Jesus forgot you.
God had a plan for you this whole time. You know what I'm saying? When you thought Jesus forgot you, when you thought his son forgot you, when you thought you didn't have anybody to believe in, when you thought that your sons were going to be working typical jobs, or your sons might not be working typical jobs, or you're waking up every day looking at the news and seeing 5 dudes or 5 kids that are the same age as your sons that were killed the night before, you know what I'm saying? And that's like where I'm coming from. That's, you know what I'm saying? That's my family. So to look at that, you know what I'm saying? And to be where we are right now, God had to have a plan for you. My family gets through everything and anything, and we always get through it together, and we always end up coming out okay. And that's just, you know, based off the blessings that we've received from so many others that care about us, and from the blessings that we've received from just God himself. And it's just amazing, man. It's this powerful South Side of Chicago family, you know what I'm saying? Most of my friends, dog, for real. You know what I'm saying? So to just be out here, to just be in hot new hip hop, to see all this going on, to have your dreams become something that's tangible, that's a physical thing that now is happening, it's amazing.